You can brainwash yourself into having whatever you want, into reality shifting, into identity shifting, into timeline jumping, into quantum leaping. It's all a matter of changing the patterns within your brain, changing the neural pathways, rewiring the brain, firing together new neurons, choosing a different reality with your free will. And so yesterday we talked about the example of the study done on bipolarism, and how there was a case study where somebody literally, with their two different identities, one would have like a serious health condition, and then when they would switch to the other identity, that one would not have the health condition. And so it can be that quick when you are identifying with a different self, reality, right? Set of beliefs. Your field will change matter. Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about that all the time, is how we change our field, we change matter. So you literally have the potential to create your reality in the way that you wish. And manifestation is a big topic, right? There's so much to it. And I hope we're getting more and more clear on the fact that it's not about like just making a vision board and writing down everything that you want and then hoping that it just magically appears one day. That would be great. And it does happen, especially if you let go of it with no resistance and blah, blah, blah. But if you're looking at it every single day, like, where is it? Where is it? Why don't I have it? Or even if you're making it and saying, one day I'll have it, that's putting it in the future. Or if you're making it and saying it and there's like or making it and seeing it, and then there's some subconscious belief that's telling you, I really challenged myself by walking up this mountain and saying this, telling you that you can't have it, whether you're aware of it or not aware of it, that will determine your reality. And so we come back to brainwashing. I love brainwashing myself. I've been brainwashed in a narcissistic relationship with someone who was full-blown in the personality disorder, and I lost myself in it. I thought of myself as something that I wasn't. Let's catch our breath. And from that place, I was very easily controlled. And as a society, as members of society, we are in many ways brainwashed, which allows us to be great almost slaves of the system, kind of. We think that there's no other way, right? A lot of people, there's so many different sayings. It's like, where do these come from, right? It's like, you have to work hard, you have to grind, and life's not meant to be easy, and of course there's going to be lessons, right? And money doesn't grow on trees, and money's bad. And I was observing someone saying this the other day about how rich people are bad and money's bad, and I was like, why? Why have people been programmed to think this? Like, yes, of course, there are people who have money that are not fully ethical beings. At the core, they're good. At the core, we're all one infinite consciousness, right? But a lot of conditioning and patterns and things that can come from being unworthy and needing to prove that they're worthy through money can cause people to act in a certain way that just is like, and then makes people form these beliefs. And I think that there's other forces and entities and groups that encourage that thought, so that we then stay on that path, whether we know it or not, that making money is bad, that when people have money, they become bad. They become, assholes, or flashy, or showy. Where can I sit? I can sit here, I think. And think about all the people that do good with money, right? I think it's important to give the brain evidence. That's one of the most important things that we can do, is give the brain evidence of others who do great with money and who make the world a better place. And if you check in with yourself, if you're here, you probably have good intentions. You probably want the world to be a better place. You're probably waking up and you want the world to wake up with you, alongside you. And you know that it's happening and you're excited to be part of the shift, but there's a lot of unknown to it, right? But you check in with yourself, you're like, oh, I am good intended. I do want good things for the world. I will do good things with money because I know that you can do bad things with money, right? And so you just start observing those things, taking inventory over yourself, your beliefs, your intentions. And then you can go into this, right? You have to face that part first. And then you can go into literally living in a completely different reality within your mind, within your being. And there's going to be that point of time or that period of time where you're in the in-between, where your matter, your perceived reality, is in the process of catching up to your field. And so what you need to do is focus on the field, focus on changing the field. And that will look like going on a walk. And I talk about this in one of the exercises in my program for 21 days to rewire your mind. And I love walking meditations because when your eyes are open, it stimulates a different part of your brain than when your eyes are closed. I did a brain treatment called Saraset. It was I did Saraset in the original technology of it, which is brainwave optimization. So in brainwave optimization, I was able to see this because there were more. It's not available anymore, the treatment. They switched over to just Saraset. But in that treatment, you're able to see the difference of your brain waves when your eyes are closed and your brain waves when your eyes are open. And my eyes open caused my brain waves to be like all over the place, and eyes closed, not so much. This comes from most of the things that are dysregulating to our body and our mind happen when our eyes are open. And so that's kind of where we can focus the most on rewiring the mind, is with the eyes, or not the most, but in a really influential way, we can focus on having eyes open while doing brain retraining. And so going on a walk with this delusion, this brainwashing practice, for the relationship that I was in, it was just repetition and it was emotion. So with repetition and emotion of him projecting these things onto me in a way that allowed me to think that I was the problem, that I needed to fix him, even though he was inflicting the pain and these things, it was that repetition and the emotion. So we need repetition and we need emotion. It's kind of funny how this is the example, but it's an example for something that's really good and really powerful. So you're on your walk and you're thinking, about your chosen timeline, and what would that version of you be thinking on a walk in that chosen timeline, right? You're probably like, oh wow, okay, I had like so much money come in this month, like so much money, like you're just walking, watching the sunset with your dog or friend, or maybe probably just a solo walk, because they might I don't know, you can do it with other people too. That's even more powerful, but it's good to do on your own. And so you're like, okay, I made so much money this month. Like, where do I want to donate it to? Oh, I could donate it to this cause. And oh, I could buy this thing. And then, that will be an investment in this project. And that will help me get closer to, my soul's purpose and mission. And I'm so excited. And I feel so grateful. And oh my God, I can't believe I'm here. And like maybe you shed a tear. And so you're feeling that emotion. And when you're feeling those emotions, and especially when you invite gratitude into your visualization of delusion or, brainwashing. I love the trend, Delulu is the Solulu, may all your dreams come true, something that started on TikTok. I don't really go on TikTok, but I saw it there from a friend, and I was like, this is amazing that people are catching on to this. It really is about being Delulu. And so walking around as if you are your desired future self. I don't like putting that term on it, future self, because it's not future self, it's now self. This is happening right now. The version of you that you wish to be, the chosen timeline that you wish to perceive, it's happening right now within the quantum field. Time and space are not real. Everything is happening at this moment. You get to choose exactly where you want to go and be and live with your free will. And by choosing it, you will move towards it. And it's a matter of no longer believing in the unconscious beliefs and patterns and blocks that once kept you living in the old timeline. And you can move there with ease and grace, with intention, by saying, I choose for this to be with ease and grace. I choose to arrive there in a fluid way. I choose to let go of everything that is blocking me and keeping me back from experiencing this new timeline. I choose for it to be a fun experience, an open experience. I choose to see through the eyes of Source. I choose to see the highest truth of all in every single moment of my life. Thank you, and so it is, right? And so we can move there. And when you say these things, when you clear with your free will, with your intention, with these words are so, so powerful. It is really important to be intentional with your words. When you choose your reality, then you just get to move there. How do you move there? We talk about this all the time. It's not believing in the unconscious beliefs and patterns and blocks and all these things like we just said. And you support the process of living in this Delulu place, of rewiring your mind, of brainwashing yourself with repetition and with emotion. And so in any moment that you can, especially too, waking up and going to sleep, maybe you've heard this before, but those are times when you're shifting out of that you're in your sleep and you're shifting brain waves. And so it's a really, really, really powerful time if you can wake up and say, okay, immediately choose to be in my future self. And so you have to like start getting familiar with it. So when you're sleepy, it's like easy to go there. But what does your future self, or whatever chosen timeline self, feel like it when they're waking up? Like, oh my God, I feel so good. Like, even if you have back pain, even if you're stuffy, even if whatever, you wake up and you're like, oh my God, I feel so good. Like that kind of delusion. Like, I love my home. I can't believe I bought this in all cash. Wow. Today I really don't have much on the agenda other than I just have that call about, sealing the deal on that business step that I'm really excited to take. Or, all I really have to do is book that ticket to go travel. And then I have lunch with one of my best friends. And then, I was going to go like reorganize my closet and just clean my house, my dream house, my wonderful house. I love living here, right? And so you're going in there, you're feeling it, you're grateful for it. You're like, I'm so grateful for another day in this timeline. And then you wake up and you carry it forward as long as you can within the day. And it's okay. It's okay. And it's probably almost impossible to stay in that state all day long. Like maybe someone will call you or something will happen. And then you go into this other state. But the more you do it, the stronger the muscle gets, and it becomes more and more natural. And then you start drawing in these things that are in vibrational match to it. It's so exciting. It's so exciting, and it's so available to you, and it's free. That's what I love about this stuff. That's what I loved about brain retraining. I spent, before insurance, on my first year of treatment and healing from Lyme disease and mold, over $400,000 were my medical bills. And so I tried so many different things. I was trying PC IV therapy. I was trying ozone IV therapy. I was trying, replenish IV therapy. I was trying hyperbaric chamber. I was doing different supplements and medicines and antibiotics and antifungals and all these different things, parasite cleanses, all the things. And I lived in the IV chair. That's why it was so expensive. But I didn't get better. If anything, I got worse. And I was also still living in mold and all these things. And so the thing that changed my life the most, alongside doing, it was a treatment like biomagnetism. It was called craniobiotic therapy using magnets with Dr. Smith in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Great for Lyme disease. Highly recommend if you or anyone you know has Lyme disease. It was great for me. Feel into it, see if your intuition brings you to it. That's something that's really important with that condition, is to let it be an intuitive process to your healing, because it's so different for everyone. It's what worked for me in regards to a lot of Lyme symptoms, but there were still these other things that were debilitating to me. Like I really still couldn't leave my house because I was so sensitive to mold, so sensitive to chemicals, so sensitive to smoke, so sensitive to EMFs. And so brain retraining was what gave me my life back. And brain retraining is just repetition, and it's repetition and firing together new neurons. And so this changed my entire life. So I spent $400,000 in the first year. I was in treatment for 4 or 5 years. And so then I learned about brain retraining. I'd spend an hour a day just being in this delusional state that felt really, really good and high vibrational after, igniting a neuron that was recognizing the symptoms within me that I did not desire anymore. And then I was able to leave my house. I was able to eat the foods that I wanted. I was able to stop all the supplements and medicines that I was on. And now I'm able to travel the world in my van and live on a horse farm where there's mold and there are ticks and there are all these things that I once was so afraid of. And of course, I'm still working through things like certain fears days of tics and whatnot, but I have my freedom back and I have my life back, and I get to do what I love, which is make these videos and work with you guys one-on-one and make programs and work at a nonprofit and save animals and, you know, live day by day with my hands in the earth, and I get to be a part of a community. And this is all available because of these methods. So, super passionate about it. And if you want to do my program, I have 21 days to rewire your mind, where we go into detail on this, and we do it every day for 21 days with an exercise every single day and a visualization every single day, which helps you get into that state and rewire your mind so that you can literally brainwash yourself into not working, into not having to, do that 9-to-5 job, or the job that you really just don't feel lit up about, or, the health things that you don't really think are working, but your doctor told you that you had to do. Follow your doctor's lead, follow the medical advice that you get, of course. But from my experience, what I experienced with this was that I no longer had to do what I was doing before. And I'm also grateful for Western medicine and also for natural medicine and all the things that were available to me. But this also gave me my freedom back to no longer have to do those things. So use your intuition, do what you got to do. I'm not telling you not to see your doctor, but you can do so much with this. And so I'm super, 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 super passionate about it. Also, I have 21 days to know your divine guidance, and that's all about going into your heart space, speaking to your higher self, getting familiar with your angels and guides, knowing how to communicate with them and learn the language with them that you have individually, because we all have intuitive, receptive language, different. That's not how I want to say it, but we receive the divine language different per person. And so some people will hear, some people will see, some people will feel, some people will taste, some people will know. There's so many different ways. And so through repetition, again, and visiting this every single day and doing the meditation and doing the practices, you're able to develop that skill. We can call it a skill, so that you can have this for the rest of your life, where you can literally go there and make all your decisions from your heart space. That's always what I tell people when they ask me for advice, is I don't really give advice. I say, you have all the answers within you. You know where to go to find the answers, but it's a matter of going there and listening and trusting yourself. And the more that you trust yourself, the more that you leap and go forward with the messages that you receive from the divine, the more that process becomes easier and easier and more clear, because you will start to train your subconscious mind that it's not a threat anymore to do the unknown, to follow the divine guidance that you're receiving, to go against the grain, to prove to your mind and body that you are safe to do this pioneer path that was designed for you, that no one else has ever walked. And so it's just a process of learning to trust yourself and learning to accept yourself and knowing that you have all the answers within yourself, and that with choosing and intentionally rewiring your mind, the thing that often holds you back, but also often makes all the decisions, you can have the life that you desire. You can work as much as you want or as little as you want. You can make the money that you want. It can be passive. It can be hands-on. It can be whatever the fuck you want. And you can have the love that you desire, the friends that you desire, the home that you desire, the happiness that you desire, the health that you desire. Everything is available to you when you choose and you shift into it by letting go of everything that's not serving you anymore. So, with all that being said, I hope that you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you are new here. Leave a comment if you feel called to do so. If you don't know what to say, you can say hello to the invisible horses. We don't have horses up here anymore. And so they're all down there now. Everyone just did the feeding. I was just looking into my information about travel. I have some things to figure out. My friend who was going to drive me to the airport is potentially concussed because he was in a car accident here the other day. The car just rolled down the hill. The e-brake stopped working. So I think he needs some rest. So I have to go figure out some details. I leave in 2 or 3 days to California, and then I'll go see my dad as well, and then I'll be back in 3 weeks here. And yeah, I'm excited for some cooler weather on the farm because we can do more rides, and the sale of the farm is going to be complete at that point, and then we can start offering more services like trail rides and different things, and I can start working on the wellness studio here so we can offer different wellness services and yoga classes. I have to go get certified in yoga. I know how to do yoga. I've been practicing for over 10 years, but I would love to go do 200-hour teacher training So I can do it here as things for the farm and with the farm, and then I can also do things on the channel with you guys, and we can do some mindful movement and different ways of working through things somatically, along with the sound therapy, which you know I love to offer. So we'll do sound baths here, and then we're going to build the glamping tent city up there, and so eventually we can do retreats here, and you guys will be invited to that. So a lot of exciting things on the horizon. And I also hopefully have people that will come fix the van while I'm gone, because that was really sad yesterday when I tried to drive off and then the van broke down again. So van doesn't drive, if you missed that. It's not actually driving, it was a tease. But I guess I'm just meant to be here right now, and it actually makes a lot of sense. So allow yourself to be divinely guided, and it will all make sense. And even if it doesn't, know that you're in the exact right place right now, and everything is happening the way that it's meant to. And you're meant to be here right now in this moment watching this video with me, and I'm so grateful to have you here. So I will see you in tomorrow's video. Bye.